Hello, everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga with Via, and it is December 22nd, 2020. It may be another day if you're watching this on the replay, the YouTube video replay. I'm going to start in the regular fashion, just lying on the floor. Just looking into your head. If you need it, open your breath. Watching your breath. Noticing the air around you as well as inside of you. I love my body loves me. Bring your hands behind your head for a vagus nerve reset. Without moving anything else, shift your eyeballs to the right and wait for an involuntary yawn, swallow, sigh, or gulp. Come back to center, look left, eyeballs to the left, only eyeballs, and a sigh, swallow, yawn, or gulp. Bring your head back to center. Do this 2 more times without my cueing it. Right, left, right, left. And finish up there. Keep your hands where they are for head ramping, just pressing the occipital ridge, which is at the back of the base of your skull. Press that into your hands, into your mat, into the floor. The skull, the back of the skull slides away from the shoulders on the mat. Stay for a couple breaths and then release and do 4 more head ramps. And now prepare for hypopressives. We're going to do the bridge hypopressive. We're going to do it 3 times. Starting with your knees bent, your heels on the floor, your toes toward the ceiling, dorsiflexing your ankles. Your arms are at their side, but when after the 3rd breath, when we start holding our breath out, no breath, then you lift your hips and then your arms go up overhead. And then at the end of the count of 14 on an inhale, bring your arms down, exhale, bring your hips down. So that's the recipe for that movement. Okay. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All the way out. Hold your breath out, lift your hips, lift your arms overhead by your ears. 1, no breath. 2, 3, stay as long as you can. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Inhale, arms come down, and exhale, the hips come down. Second one. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All the way out. Hold your breath, no breath. Arms up, hips up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Inhale, the arms come down. Exhale, hips down. We're going to do a 3rd one because I know there's at least one person in this room besides me that's suffering from incontinence or urgency incontinence. And this pose helps with that. So if you have that issue, you'll want to do this more times in your home practice. Take an inhale, 3 breaths. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3rd breath, inhale. Exhale. All the way out. Hold your breath out, lift your hips and your arms, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Inhale, arms come down, and exhale, the hips come down. This also works this is core work, so you should get a smaller waist with this and strengthen your core. And it also works for prolapsed organs. And a lot of us have an organ that is prolapsed to one degree or another. We are going to start. The next recipe is a recipe for neck and jaw. You're going to need a set of therapy balls in a tote and maybe a brick to put the therapy balls on. Just lie on your back supine for the first part of the series with your balls in the tote, horizontal at the occipital ridge. So you may or may not need a brick underneath your balls. It actually depends on how tight your shoulders are. The first movement here is let's just take some time just to become aware of the movement, of the location. And then go ahead and nod, chin up, chin down, 10 times. Let's do 9 times. I like 9. Slowly, no hurry. You may have to adjust your ball a couple times. And after you do 9 of those, do side to side. So it's a rotation, cervical rotation over the balls. Just look left, look right. And when you've done 9, draw an infinity circle or a figure 8 with your nose, starting in one direction, and then after we do 9 of those in one direction, you'll do 9 in the other. Switch directions if you're at 9. Stay in the same position that you are in, but look to the right so that you'll find that right behind your ear, the ball will be located sort of behind your ear on the right side, all the way off the left side. And while you're looking to the right, make a small nod up and down 9 times. This might be a place that's very sensitive to you. And then a little movement side to side, but don't go all the way back to the center. Just keep looking right, but then a rotation, a side to side. It's a no, no. So we're yeses and nos. And then come back to center when you're ready and go to the look to the left. Look all the way to the left. You're resting the left side of your neck on the ball. And then nodding up and down 10 times, 9 times, 9 times. And then side to side, still looking left, side to side. A small movement. Take your time. Allowing the weight of the world to slide away in this series. When you've finished 9, then we're going to take another position. It's a sideline position. You will probably need a brick for this one. So start on your side, looking at the Zoom screen. And you need in this series, you just need 1 ball. So take it out of the tote. And put it, to start with, let's see here, put it right behind your ear, right behind your earlobe. Now, can you demonstrate having the brick? Because I know you're not working with a brick now, but
I probably should, because putting it down here, I can't do it.
you can't, I don't think you're going to feel as much work as when you have the resistance. Now you're pressing the ball between the brick and the body.
Much better.
Okay, so looking with the ball behind you, just do a nod. This is the basic moves are the yeses and the nos. When you've been nodded 9 times, then side to side 9 times. This is an area that if you haven't been working like this, could be very sensitive. Lots of us hold a lot of tension back here. This whole series is going to release tension in your neck, jaw, and shoulders. It may release a TMJ. It may quiet down headaches, migraine, including migraine headaches. When you're finished there, go to place your ball at a new location. So you're still on your side, put your ball at the cheekbone or the jawbone in the middle. Find a place that's good for you. It could be achy breaky also if you hold tension in your jaw. So from here, we'll have 3 moves. The first one is a nod, 9 times. And then a side to side, a yes, a no, side to side. And then come back to center and open your mouth, your jaw, open your mouth and close it. Over the ball. And then move the ball to the temple. Just find the best location. There are several places that probably feel good. Just find a place where you can place the ball on the temple and nod 9 times. I'm going to get a ball and try to do this seated. After you've done 9, then the side to side. I actually think I have a student who had trouble doing this lying down and ended up doing all of the moves, but doing them seated. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and flip sides and we'll do the whole series on the other side. Hold on, I'm going to get a pen. I want a pen to write down something. Okay, so starting with the back of the placing your ball at the back of it behind the earlobe, and then nodding. Chin up, chin down 9 times. And then side to side 9 times. Bring your ball to your jawbone, to the cheekbone, and nod 9 times. And side to side 9 times. Open and close your mouth 9 times. Bring your ball to the temple. Find a place for it and nod. Side to side. And that's the end of that series. Bring yourself up to floor seated slowly. When you come up, you can turn your head to the right and the left and see. We didn't do it before, but this will help you see if you've released some tension in the neck and jaw. And we're going to do some cervical side bends. So find your most comfortable seated position. And drop your right ear to your right shoulder. So you're sitting tall. Your sits bones are even on the floor. Dropping the right ear. I should be timing this. I think I'll time this, give you a little bit more. You get a bonus on this first one. Just relaxing and stretching on the one side, compressing on the other. And now go ahead and drop your chin towards your armpit for a different kind of a stretch for the last half of the time. So you're still side bending just a slightly different stretch because of the position of your chin. Bring your chin up and then bring your cervical spine up. Drop to the left ear, left shoulder. Just stay here and enjoy. Go ahead and drop your chin towards your armpit for a different stretch for the last half of the time. And come up, chin first, and then cervical spine. Let's just go ahead and flat back hip hinge forward before we go to the next resistance, cervical side bend. Just make sure flat back, come on forward, using just the hips. Use it forward at the hip joint. So the whole spine is like a broomstick. Your head is like a head ramping. Come forward as far as you can. Keep your chest open. Stretching your back, your lower back, keeping your hips on the floor, even. Flat back hip hinge. And then use your hands if you need to come on up. Use your abdominals also to come on up. Use your abs and come on up to straight. And then let's do the same, the side bend, cervical side bend with resistance. So drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Put your right hand on your left ear and press up into the left ear, into the hand with the ear. So this is a totally different stretch. So remember, you're dropping your right ear and putting your right hand on your left ear.
It's a tight shoulder.
And the resistance comes from the hand and the ear. And then go ahead and release that a little bit. Release the resistance and then drop your chin. Add the resistance again and come on back. Add the resistance, drop your chin. And then bring your chin up and then your head up. Left ear, left shoulder, left hand on right ear. Press the head or the ear up into the hand. Resistance, stretching, cervical resistance, stretching. Breathing. Lift the hand, drop the chin. Add the hand again for more resistance as you in your new position. Chin up, thoracic or cervical spine up. Let's do some shoulder shrugs. Just rolling your shoulders up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. So elevating, retracting, and depressing the scapula. You don't need to come forward. We're always coming forward. It's not going to hurt you, but notice how good this feels on the scapula. Let's do shoulder clams. So bring your hands together Elbows are at the chin. The hands, fingers are interlaced. The base of the palms together, there's a little hole that's created between the interlaced fingers and the palm. Imagine that you have a sponge ball or a balloon between your elbows, and then deflate the ball, and then come on out and inflate it. This is an imaginary, it's not an imaginary movement, but you're imagining the ball. This actually releases tension in the upper trapezius. Shoulder clams. You can experiment with the location of your elbows. It can be higher, it can be higher than your chin, but no lower than your chin. Back and forth you go. Squeeze the air out of the ball. Allow the air to enter the ball. Two more times. Okay, and now bring your arms down. We're going to do flying pizza. So the elbows are bent and tucked into the waist, the palms facing each other. And then inhale, take the arms out and rotate the wrists so they're up, facing upward. This is the flying pizza part. And then bring it back to the beginning. This is a rotator cuff exercise. You should be feeling this behind the shoulder blades. We do often do this in the side lying series. We just do half of it. Now you should feel it. Just take your time. And one more. And let's do a side bend. So stay here in the floor seated position. You may want to change the direction of switch your legs. Right arm out to the side, slides along the floor. The left arm is up and over by your ear. Keep your hips even on the floor. Stay here and breathe. Expanding the rib cage and the thoracic spine on one side, compressing on the other. And now go ahead and drop your chin. No, drop your elbow. Sorry, drop your elbow for the last half. Slowly come back, elbow, and then thoracic spine. Go to the other side. Slide your other arm along the floor. Up and over. Stay here and breathing. Keep your hips on the floor. Side bending. And then go ahead and drop your elbow for a slightly different stretch along the back of the armpit. And come on back. We're going to do a spine twist. So elbow, and then thoracic spine. Come up in two pieces. Now we're going to go to the right first. So take your left hand, switch your legs, everybody, if you hadn't already. Left leg, left hand on left knee, right knee. Bring your right hand behind you, spider fingers, and rotate the spine as far as you can. Find your spinal twist, and then go ahead and add a bonus rib cage slide. Try not to use your trapezius, just the ribs, while continuing to maintain the spine twist. So this is an add-on. If it's hard for you to do, you can skip it. Come all the way back and go to the other side. Right hand on left knee, left hand behind you. Rotate the thoracic spine, the upper back, into a spinal twist, the best one you have. Maintain it. And then if you care to, optional, slide the rib cage side to side. This will help open up the rib cage area. Give your rib cage space to breathe. Always breathing, always aware of breath, aware of movement. What is this movement I'm doing here? Where is it? How big is it? Come all the way back. And we're going to come into a stacked knee position. With one knee, and the knees are both facing front ways, and one knee is stacked on top of the other. You may need to sit on a blanket for this one. We're going to do the wrist twist. So bring your arms out in front of you, palms, the back of the palms together, and then lift the right arm up and over so you can interlace the fingers. Now drop your fingers towards your knee and towards your floor, then towards the chest, then up towards your chin. So twisting the wrist, keeping good posture, and just staying here and breathing. If you can, you can drop your wrists a little lower. Just staying here and breathing. And now unraveling all of that. Unraveling all of that and coming to the other side. Switch legs, switch sides. So this time, you're going to put your hands out in front of you, palms, the back of the palms facing each other. Lift your left arm up and over. Interlace your fingers, drop your fingers. This is a wrist stretch. That part is a wrist stretch. The bottom part is a hip opener. It's the bottom part of cow face pose in yoga. Just staying here and breathing, and enjoying all of the benefits of the pose. Remember to feel your spine tall. If you have piriformis or SI joint issues, this pose is actually very good for releasing tension in those and in pain in those areas. Creating space is basically what it does for the nerves. Okay, unravel, come on out of that. Let's do one more wrist twist. Go ahead and find another floor-seated pose. maybe not maybe a figure S. Or any comfortable pose. You're going to start in prayer pose. So with the hands in prayer pose, and then you're going to take your right hand and take it forward. So the right hand comes forward away from you. No, keep it in prayer pose. So no, keep the elbows bent. So stay in prayer pose, but the right hand comes forward. The fingers come forward and down. And then palms together, and now a wrist twist here. And just stay here and breathe. This is one of my favorite wrist exercises. Our sub theme today is wrists, neck, shoulders, and wrists. Just pressing the palms together, you'll feel it maybe a little differently at each wrist. And then switch sides. Switch the feet, switch the hands. Start with prayer pose. This time the left hand goes down and the palms meet again. And there's flexion at both wrists, basically. And just stay here and breathe. See if you can still find good posture. Take a couple more breaths and then release your hands and come up to standing. We're going to do a back extension at the wall. And a spine twist. So starting at the wall, facing away from the wall. Stand in good posture. Bring your arms up and over. Remember, if you need to, you can do this on a chair if this is too much for you at the wall. But all you have to touch is just your fingertips, or maybe your entire palm, maybe the base of your palm. The trick is not to jut out the hips, the front of the hips. You want to keep your hips, knees, and ankles lined up. And just stay here and breathe. We're timing. This is a bone building pose. This builds bone density. It's also a good posture pose. And come on out of that. And we're going to do a side bend or a spine twist, not a side bend, spine twist at the wall. Right side, right shoulder to the wall, right foot forward, left foot behind you. Now bring your hands up into a bent elbow position and rotate. And stay here and breathe. So your hips are still going forward. Your spine the thoracic spine is rotating. Rotating to the right. And just breathing. Slowly unravel yourself and switch to the other side. The left shoulder is at the wall. Left foot forward, right foot behind. And bend your elbows and rotate your spine to the left against the wall. Let the wall help you increase and stabilize your split twist. And just stay here and breathe. Notice Kathy's hips stay forward. She doesn't rotate her hips or her pelvis. And come on back. All the way back. We're going to do a balancing pose before we go to the floor. So you're going to need a chair beside you or a wall or a counter, something, a safe point, because this is a balancing pose. Kathy uses this base because she has two carpets that she's dealing with, and it's too unstable. But you don't have to do that. That's not part of the required props.
Or it's a lot easier.
But for her, it's easier. Yeah. Well, a lot of times you'll find that if you're working on carpet, you might want to move to a floor. So just think of that when you're saying, what can I do better here? Go ahead and lift your right leg, your right knee, bend your knee, and stay here and breathe. If you need to, find a stable item that's on the wall across the room from you and look at that. This will help you keep your balance. But while you're doing this, notice that there's an internal mechanism as well as an external mechanism that is helping you balance. And when in your home practice, make this longer and longer. We're doing it for 40 seconds, but make it longer and longer and see how long you can stay. Switch sides. "40 seconds. So if you like any of these poses, often I only do them once, then we move on. That's because there's so many good moves, so many recipes actually to share. But if you like this in your home practice, you might do more of them. One of the nice things about the video replays is that you can stop it actually and say, I'm going to do 10 of these. I like this. I'm going to do 10 of these. Okay, come on down to the floor. Just get onto your hands and knees. We're going to do another wrist stretch. So come into quadruped, hands and knees. Your wrists start forward, but then you switch one wrist, the right wrist, switch it backward so it's facing your knee. Yep. You can move it up a little farther so it's parallel to your other wrist, Kathy. Yes. Now notice, you might want to notice that If you drop your hips back a little bit, you get even more of a stretch, especially along the front of your arm, but also the wrist. So play around with that. Can you drop it back? And the other thing you can do is lift your palm up so that you're stretching your fingers. So there's two stretches to be had here, a finger stretch. So stay here and stretch your fingers with your palm up. You can still come back if you want. Or the wrist stretch with your palm down. Go ahead and switch sides and do the other side. So starting with, you can start with, let's start with a finger stretch actually. Let's start with a finger stretch. Spread the fingers and stretch them. Yummy. And then whenever you're ready, drop the palm and stretch now you're flexing and stretching at the wrist. Remember, you can drop your hips back to get a little more stretch. And come on back. If you ever have a problem with your knees when we're doing quadruped, you can put something under your knees, or you can put something behind your knees, between your knees. Come on into a prone back extension. Did that bother your wrists, Kathy?
No, I was just flexing them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That was kind of intense.
If those stretches bother you, make them a little smaller. If they just feel foreign, that's okay. But if you feel pain, don't go there. Go ahead and bring your arms beside your hips, palms up. Inhale to prepare, and exhale. Lift your hands, your upper back, your head. Remember, your head is in a head ramping position. And just stay here and breathe just for a couple seconds. This is just warm up for the next one, airplane. Inhale to prepare to come down and exhale to come down. Up again, but this time we'll go to airplane or level 2. Take an inhale to prepare and exhale, arms come up. Inhale to prepare to go to airplane, and now exhale, your arms come out to your side. Remember, if this is hard for you, you could stay at the other level. And just stay here and breathe. And this one I recommend doing more than once in your home practice. It's good for bone building. It's also good for strengthening the muscles along the thoracic spine. So even if you have osteoporosis, if you have strong muscles, you can prevent or reduce the possibility of fractures. Take an inhale to prepare and an exhale to come all the way down. Bring your arms into a T for thoracic release, prone thoracic release. Keep your arms, your chest, everything up there on the floor. Look to the right, bring your right leg up and over behind your left leg. And you can do anything you want with your leg. Your right leg, you can bend your knee, wiggle your toes, stretch, roll, anything you want, but don't move the arms, the armpits, the shoulders. They are flat on the floor. Come on back, switch sides. Look to the left leg comes up and over. I would do this more times too. This is a really good one for releasing the lumbar and strengthening and opening the upper back. Often the lumbar is working too hard. That's where we get some lower back pain. It's working too hard, and it's working too hard because the upper back isn't doing its job. So the upper back doesn't do its job when it's over tight. Yeah. Hence all of the upper back movements that we do in this class. Come on back. Find your way onto your back for Yoga Nidra. Lie on your back, comfortable, cervical spine in neutral. You may want to put a rolled up towel under your lower back, especially if you extend your legs. You may want to put your bent knees up on a couch or a chair. You may want to put a warm blanket over you, especially if you're in Alaska. It just sounds cold. The word Alaska just sounds cold to me from where I sit. Now I'm going to take you through 61 points. You will follow my words, become aware of the point, but don't move your body. So starting with your breath, breathing in and breathing out, observing your belly as it rises and falls with the gentle flow of your breath. Now bring your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This concludes our 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Start to bring your attention back to your entire body and back to the room. You can extend your legs and bring your arms overhead, stretch in both directions, trying to create a little more space between your rib cage and your pelvis. Traction. Stretch right, let's stretch left. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. Hug your right knee into your chest. Hug your left knee into your chest. Hug both knees into your chest and rock from side to side, releasing the lower back, opening the hips. And then whenever you're ready, roll all the way over into a fetal position. Using your bottom arm as a pillow. Press your palm of the top arm into the floor and use that to bring yourself up to seated. Find your favorite, unmute yourself and find your favorite cross-legged position. I'm going to take the spotlight off Kathy. I'm going to change the view to gallery view. And we'll close the class with namaste with a neck nod and namaste. So start with a prayer pose. Bring your hands into prayer. You can bring your hands into prayer and press them together. Hard. We did some shoulder work today. This is a shoulder work, singing to the rest of the shoulder work that we did earlier. And then release that and make it just a gentle prayer pose. Lift your occipital ridge up toward the ceiling so that you can nod or rock your skull over the top of the cervical spine. C1, nodding, rocking, rolling forward, bowing. To bow, the cervical spine is straight. Bowing to each other, noticing and honoring the light in each of us. And remembering we're all from the same light source, we're all one. And we'll close the class by saying to each other, namaste.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.